Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Divinity Original Sin 2 2020 guide slash walkthrough. We are here today with our two custom characters, Mumbo and Pyramus, and we have recently recruited the Red Prince to our party. Right now we're just running around the outskirts of Fort Joy here, picking up some random loot that we can salvage. We are now meeting our black cat companion. Running up here. Just a few quick things we're grabbing before we actually head into the fort. Looting some empty stuff, grabbing a shovel. Shovel would be important if we didn't already have two lizards in the party. Lizards can dig without a shovel. They got claws. I'd say very useful. It's moderately useful. Now I know the area here. I know where I'm going to get certain things that we're going to need. If you're new to the game, just explore around a bit. You'll find a nice little starter bow there, some nice starting armor. You might run into this little cave pathway here. We're actually not going to go through there right now. We're going to go through there later. And you might find this little grave site over here. Just one little wooden cross. Now, if you don't have high wits, or any wits, you probably won't find that. Red Prince happens to have 12 wits, so he found that. Wits is also what stat is used to find secret things like that to dig into. Now this one, we're digging up a corpse, which is never really explained in-game why this corpse is coming alive like this, but there's a corpse that is just attacking us. I don't know why. Now Red Prince, like Pyramus, is a lizard, so he gets this Dragon's Blaze Fire Breath attack. So set him on fire. Now as a ranger, he has elemental arrowheads as power, so we're going to take this fire, use elemental arrowheads on it. We now get burning arrows. We're going to do some extra fire damage with our bow. And he's on fire, so he's going to take extra fire damage from that. It's a win-win combo. Now, some undead in the game, mostly the zombie undead, which are super common, they bleed poison. You can see some poison on the ground there. When they bleed poison, if they're on fire, the poison ignites, which is why we got a little bit of extra fire going on there. So I'm going to back up just a little bit and then hit him with that fire wand. And that'll do it. Nice, quick, easy combat XP. And we don't get a whole lot from his body. Yeah, we get nothing, actually, from looting that body. But whatever. They can't all be winners. Now, the important thing you're going to want to grab before heading into Fort Joy. Fort Joy is the fort over here. Before heading in, you are going to want to come over here and grab a yarrow flower. Alright, there's one right there. You're going to want to grab that. That's going to be important in a little bit. You can grab some shells if you want. Long branch is good for early crafting. There's a lot more shells on the beach here than I think you're going to realistically be able to use. You can talk to the kids if you want. Some of them from the ship are scattered around out here. They're not super important to talk to. Just a little bit of flavor text. Now, in order to maximize XP in the beginning act here, and just to give ourselves a little bit of a challenge, there's a group here, there's a scene that unravels when you walk by. We're going to skip through this because we're going to fight these guys later, or most of these guys. There's one of them in here that you don't fight because they're scripted to just die. But if we walk too close to them, a little scene starts up, and then we don't get the chance to fight them. So, to avoid that scene, we're actually going to enter the fort by coming over this way. And just kind of stay on this side. You don't want to get too close. And then we're just going to go up this ladder. Alright, now if you're super paranoid, you can click on the ladder, but you could just click somewhere up here, it'll work. And we're just going to get our team to move up a little bit, make sure the back ends climb. And then our cat, actually in an attempt to follow us, is going to try to go through the front door. And the cat is going to get stuck in this little interaction. So the cat stays there now until we come back and get it. Now you're going to want to avoid this table for right now. Just a little bit extra money later if you do. And come down this ladder here, and we are now inside the fort. We were inside the fort like 30 seconds ago. but now we're like in the fort, Alright, are there panties in that barrel? This game has some weird randomly generated loot. I don't know, like, who just keeps a pair of panties in a barrel out in the open in a prison camp? Like, what's... I guess in a prison camp there's nowhere else to keep them. And again, if you're on keyboard and mouse, you hold Alt, you'll be able to see some stuff you can grab. If you're not on keyboard and mouse, you can hold A on an Xbox controller. I'm assuming you could hold X on a PlayStation controller, A or B on a Switch, and it'll highlight around you some stuff, but you can't move while doing that. Now, if you use that to highlight stuff, anything in red would count as stealing if you grab it. So all this stuff belongs to Nabora here. So we can't take that stuff without her getting angry and attacking us. But this log here we can grab. Right there. And this log pile doesn't have a red chest, so we can't open that. This log pile is hers, alright? Can't grab that without it being counted as stealing. Now over here, we got 2 humans trying to shake down an elf. Kind of like a... I don't know, it's a shakedown, is what it is. You're going to want to make sure when you get that long drop-down list, you hit option 5. There's probably more than one route to take, but option 5 is the quickest, easiest route there. So then you have combat now. Ivan, let's just highlight him with that here. Ivan is on your team for this battle, and he's not a part of your party for this battle, but he's an ally, as well as Elodie. So you don't want to hit them with anything. These 2 humans though that are highlighted in red, they're the ones doing the shakedown. We don't like them. We're gonna hit them with some stuff. So same thing we did with the zombie over there. And hit with fire breath, and then we're gonna click the fire with elemental arrowheads. But now instead of hitting them with just a normal arrow attack, since there's 2 of them, we're gonna use ricochet, and that'll let us bounce that arrow off of there, hit them both. You know, bouncing arrows as one does. All right, his turn, Ivan. There's gonna be a lot of NPC turns for this combat here. And later on, I might edit out some of the more drawn-out combat pieces, but for right now, we'll keep it in, because this is an early combat. It's not very difficult. I want to summon the Incarnate on the fire right there. Alright. And then we're going to have him smack Kana once, and then make sure you use this fireball in a way where it doesn't hurt any of your allies. Yeah. Alright, now Burrow here is standing on blood, which should get electrified when he gets hit. No, it did not, so he might not be entirely on it there. So now that he's shocked, I want to stun him, so he just loses his turn. So up here in the turn order, I'm going to give Peace of Mind to Mumbo. Hopefully that lets him go jump up in the turn order, just so he can go before them. Yes, he did jump up a little bit. He's going to be going before Burrow, so now Mumbo can make it rain, and he'll turn that shock into stun. Unfortunately, that will stop Kana from burning, but realistically, she's dead. That doesn't matter, because we're going to hit her with Hail Strike right there. Now we're going to hit the Incarnate, but who cares? The Incarnate is disposable. Oh, she's chilled? That didn't just outright freeze her. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just do that. There we go. Yeah, Ivan's going to take care of that anyway. Ivan starts off as a Wayfarer, which is similar to a Ranger. So he's going to have some similar powers to what Red Prince has at the moment. Alright, and then, yeah, we'll give Pyramus Peace of Mind, buff up his attack stats a little bit for this last turn. And it's done with the fire wand. I keep saying staff instead of wand, not sure why. Alright, and that's an easy little bit of XP. And from here, she tells you to follow her. She's in an elf cave over there. Now, I'm going to just keep walking through here. We get another waypoint right here. Pops up on your map there. If you check your map here, these little bluish swirls are the checkpoints. Now, just because I know what I'm doing here, there's a little hatch here. This goes down to the arena. If you just go there, you get Exploration XP. I'm just gonna drop down, get that exploration XP, and then head back on up. Now, the yarrow flower that we got earlier is gonna come into play over here. Alright. There's this guy over here on the beach, and we're just kind of going right to the back end of Fort Joy. And then we're going to kind of work our way up from there. So we come over here. This guy, Migo, he's over here. He's eating corpses. Now, you need to make sure not to one your way through this conversation. Take the yarrow plant from your pouch and offer it to him. He's looking for yarrow. Now you can one your way through. His daughter is yarrow. And we're going to get to her in just a minute. But he gave you, as a reward for giving him that yarrow plant, he gave you Migo's ring, which we're just going to equip to the Red Prince because he happens to be the guy up right now. Now over here, you'll see this guy as we're working our way forward. Dane is kind of, he's got 1 out of 64 HP. He's pretty close to death. And then we have Dr. Lest over here. So we're going to have Mumbo talk to Dr. Lest.
Frightfully busy at the moment.
She's wanting some alcohol to kind of ease Dane's passing. I'm like, oh, Dane's gonna die? Well, I just got a ring that lets me heal him. So before we give you alcohol, just, let him numb up and die. Let's see if we can heal him with that healing power. Look at that. Look at that. Now he's healing up. And we get 250 XP for that. And then, yeah, let's give her that anyway. Now, you have to hop out of the conversation midway like that to get XP for both of those. So you kind of... it's not cheating your way through, but you kind of trick the game into giving you XP for both of those quests there. Now, as we're moving our way back up, we're gonna come over here, and we see there's a cage here, and whoa, there's an elf locked in that cage. That doesn't look good. Let's talk to him, see what's going on. Whoa, he doesn't want us to talk to him. Now, Griff is in charge of the guys that were shaking down the other elf earlier. Some hostilities there. One your way through until you see make a proposition. Griff has some stolen supplies. He thinks that elf took the supplies. So if we can find out who actually took his supplies, he'll let the elf go. Alright. Now we're just going to move all the way back up to the front of the fort. Make sure not to go up through here, or you'll trigger that cutscene. If you run into Gawain, you can one your way through that conversation. He's asking you to find some teleportation gloves, which will be marked on your map right there. The crocodiles have swallowed his teleportation gloves. He just wants you to go get them. Now, when we came up the ladder here, we saw a Magister walking around. Her name is Magister Yarrow. She is the daughter of Migo, the guy we just gave the yarrow flower to. So he was looking for this yarrow. We gave him a different yarrow, and he just kind of rolled with it. Now, you're going to recall the madman you met on the beach, describe him, and you're just going to hand her the ring as proof. So now we no longer have that ring. Gave it to her, and she's going to run over to dear old dad. Alright, which is a big, deformed Migo guy that was eating corpses. Now, we find out later that he was eating corpses because the Magisters did some crazy experiments on him and kind of messed him up. He's kind of a Frankenstein's monster type of deal there now. So we're going to head on over here. You can just click there and it'll go. If you have a controller, well, unfortunately, you just have to run through manually. But as of right now, I can click it over there, and these guys are just going to make their way over. Yeah. She's gonna beat you there, probably. So while we're doing this, you'll notice we only have 3 people in the party, when you're allowed to have 4 with no mods. Feel free to use mods, no judgment, but if you want achievements, gotta do no mods, and I'm gonna be doing with no mods. So when we get over here, she's a little concerned. She's like, what'd they do, blah blah blah. Talk to her. You can one your way through the conversation, and you get some quest rewards. I'm just gonna pick whatever gives me the most gold to sell it, which is this staff, and you get some other rewards all the time. Alright, so we did a little bit of questing there. Didn't level up on this run, or this episode, but we are now inside the fort. We can waypoint into the center of the fort now. That's the whole point of these waypoints. You can teleport back and forth. Next time, we're going to come on through and free Amiro the elf from Griff's little cage there. We're going to level up, and we'll see what else we can fit into the 15-minute chunk next time. So, I will see you next time.